trishaw puller. Those days, everyone wears a hat like that, right? Then that they have this, they seems to have a uniform, a blue faded out shirt, beaded by the waddle, unbuttoned, those Chinese buttons, they leave it open, a white singlet like what you're wearing now, you know, and probably like a khaki shorts,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a pair of slippers, and then they just pedal, from point to point. Yeah, correct. I'm a sucker for those things that came from that period. The early 19, I would say after the World War II, the transformation of the nation, all the way to about 1980s. Yeah. Yeah, because the 80s, I left the country. So somehow I don't seem to have that attachment. And when I came back, it's like, wow, suddenly it's so modern. It's like not Singapore at all, It lost that charm. Uh, before before I leave Singapore, Chinatown was like really Chinatown. You see people slaughtering snakes and selling iguanas on the streets, Trishaw pullers will be sitting on stool in groups and having the teochew porridge, one corner, two corners, all the old ladies selling vegetables on the floor, coffee shops are dark, dingy, dirty. That is my impression of Chinatown. So much character, so beautiful. And I've done some photography then.
Mm.
But when I return, oh my gosh, it's like all tourists, all clean, all bright. I say no, this is not Chinatown. But it's sad, Casey. They have changed. They have played down the word neutral sui. That name is very important to me, right? The neutral sui, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Rather than wow, Chinatown, right? Yeah. I mean,
How was the
yeah, it's branding actually. You should keep the name. The name is very iconic. And when I was preparing to come back from US to Singapore, I brought a lot of boxes with my friend to the post office to ship it by sea. It's the cheapest I could afford. All my graphic books and all my things, right? And the postmaster in that small town was asking me, he said, "Oh, are you shipping this to Singapore?" "Oh, I've been to Singapore in the 1970s. It's beautiful, And he described the Chinatown, right? So it was interesting. So that was you know the story about the Chinatown thing. Well, anyway,
I have
yeah. Hmm.
privilege, right,
Uh-huh.
to I have the privilege when I was in this North Canal Road. My office was there.
Oh,
Remember?
beautiful place. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The shop house,
And,
beautiful.
that is the very early 2000. Yeah, very early 2000. Maybe yeah, very early 2000. Then
Right.
I was there. Uh, and that was when you first started your Snoot Creative too, if I'm
Correct.
not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I have the privilege to go to the People's Park complex, right? And
Yeah.
that moment, and it's
Right.
still very raw.
Right.
And there are still some shops, right, that was closed for many, many years, and auntie just willing to open that day.
Right.
And went in. It's a shop where they sell all the old shampoos and stuff. And
Oh my gosh. Wow.
and
Wow.
that time I don't have the kick of buying things,
I
but
know.
you know what I bought?
Uh-huh.
I still have that the early 80s, late
Shampoo.
early 90s, or what, the shampoo bottles.
Right, right, right. I know, I know, I know.
I bought a few tubes of Dali toothpaste.
Oh, cannot find anymore. The black man, right? Is a black, not the updated one,
So,
You cannot find anymore.
and
It's
it,
considered racist. Yeah. Uh,
and it's still in metal metal tubes.
Correct, correct. It's metal tube and probably a green knob,
Yeah, yeah,
Then the
black
the
or something like
the,
that.
the, the darky face,
Correct, correct.
like a black and white. Yeah, I think green is their color. I do not know. Yeah, darky, correct.
So of course, that time if I'm able, I would buy the whole shop down because I can maintain it still as an antique show
I
museum.
know. Yeah. Just keep it the way it is. You
Yeah.
don't really have to do a lot, right? Your intent is not to sell them. Your intent is to open up. You pay 50 cents to come in just to browse. People, I would, Yeah, I wish I have the GoPro with me, or you wish you had a GoPro with you to capture some of these glimpses of the past, Because once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah.
gone already. So
Yeah, yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like that lah. I mean, some of
Right.
the older shops are ashamed uh,
Right.
that the children do not want it. The they're not interested in that kind of same trade. That kind of shit.
Well, because they were being brainwashed by the education. It says, "Hey, go get your degree and work somewhere else. Don't follow your parents' footstep, right?" But if you have a chance, Casey, yeah, if you have a time machine, you want to go back to a particular year. What year would that be?
Future.
You want to go back to the future.
No, I want to
Okay.
go to the future. I don't want to go to the past.
I mean, yeah, I say Back to the Future. It kind of that movie it rings in the head. Or Back to the Future, right?
I'm not a very I okay. I used to look into the past,
Right.
but I'm over it already.
Were,
Uh,
were there happy moments in the past?
of course, but there
Would you
is
want to revisit those moments in the past?
no.
Yeah.
Okay, if you rephrase your question, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
If the past, where do I want to go? I wouldn't want to go back to revisit my past. I will go back to revisit the history past.
Can you elaborate?
For example, I
Uh-huh.
am very interested to see the 70s.
Okay, I can tell you quite a fair bit of stuff. Okay, go ahead. Ask
Yeah.
the questions about
I'm
70s. Yeah.
interested to
Huh?
see the 70s, especially as you say, places like Chinatown. So when
Right.
I walk in Chinatown, right,
Right.
and I look at the postcards, I look at the images and things like which I'm in my interest, and
Right.
I will look at it. I give you an example. I saw a picture of North Canal Road in the early 80s or late 70s. I saw a picture there.
Is it from my collections that I passed you? I
No,
got a collection of
no,
postcards. Right. Yeah. Hey,
no.
those are original. I bought it those that year. I didn't buy it recent.
Mhm.
That means this is before my US trip. So I bought it there. I was so intrigued by Chinatown. Yeah. Okay. Go
Do
ahead.
you
Yeah.
want it? I sell it to you.
Well, do you say what the how much is a card you're selling back to me? Yeah. Yeah. I bought it for 40 cents. Yeah.
I'm
Did
sell
you
it
say
for
$40?
$3. That's what happened when give
Right.
give
Right.
give your junk to a junk man. The junk man will sell it as antique, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. So you want to go back to the 70s,
Yes,
you were talking.
because when I look at the pictures in North Canal Road,
Right.
I actually sat at the road for a few hours just to analyze the trees. Some of
Mm,
some of
mm.
the trees are still there, and my goodness, if the
Yep.
tree can speak, oh shit, they can tell you everything about the past.
You
You know?
see, Casey, that is a brilliant idea for a short film,
Mm.
right? It's a brilliant idea. I mean, from there, you say, hey, yeah, let's build. It's very whimsical. It's very, what you call that, like my kind of movie. Very, um, what you call that, Twilight kind of, a tree can speak to you. This is really pure imagination. It's beautiful, beautiful. I mean, we have so many titles now. Yeah.
I,
So,
I,
yeah, correct.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm excited by the fact about thinking of all this movements in that era.
Right,
And,
right, right, right.
and
Hmm.
when my mom will wear the mini skirts, and my dad and my mom, when you look at them, right,
Right,
in my older age and or my growing
right,
up age, I look at them as old fashioned,
right.
boring people that
Right, right, right. Yep.
you
Uh-huh.
know. But when I look at their photos,
Correct.
before they have their first kid, oh wow, my dad is rock and roll man,
I know, I know.
with
Yeah.
with shades and taking photos with
I understand. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, it's like
yeah
the Hong Kong famous actor in the early 70s, Jia Yin, ah.
yeah.
You know the Jia Yin. I don't know what's his English name. Yeah. I mean that time lah, ah,
Yeah.
right,
So my mom and my dad has followed fashion during then, and
absolutely.
my dad
Uh-huh.
has a motorbike that brings
Right,
my mom
right.
everywhere.
A bit of the lifestyle,
Yeah,
of
like
the rock and roll. Right, right. Correct,
my
correct.
mom is that I go happy go lucky with a gold tooth, during that
Right,
that time
right, right, right,
I was
right,
tooth
right, right. Correct,
is
correct.
all those things that
Correct. Starting a family then, in her time, getting married, falling in love, You see, after the World War, I believe, Casey, after the World War II, when the Japanese pull out, and of course, it was time for nation building. A lot of people are struggling to make ends meet. But when things get a bit better, maybe in the late 50s or mid 50s to 60s, that is a very, I could imagine in my head, I do not know much. It's a very romantic period. Life is simple. People getting, married and move on with life, And those days, families are big. When they get married, they have kids like 5, 6, 10, 12. My cousin's side is 12. Oh my gosh, My brother-in-law side is 10. Wow, I come from a family of 6 siblings. It's
yeah, me
considered
too.
big, right? Yeah. So I believe it's a romantic period, and my mom have never worked in her life. My dad has been working hard as a motor mechanic just to feed 6 of us, that kind of thing. Life must be, I don't know, might be tough, but I have no idea what would be in my dad's mind, for him during that period. Whether he has worries or not, I do not know, I do not know. So yeah, so I tend to lean back to the mid 60s to the 70s or late 70s, just before I left for the US. That is a period that I would want to look back and find that happiness that I have left behind. Those happiness were there, right? Right.
Yeah,
Because I'm not worried about financials. My parents are still feeding me. I'm still in high school, that kind of thing. Right? Yeah. So of course that's nice. So after army is a total ball game. You have to go out there and look for job. And now starts my future. Right? It's always after army you starts a future. Right? Correct. Yeah. So the past is interesting. Can really tell. It's more fantasy. What would it be like? What year I want to go back into, go forward to. But yeah, it's always a past. I draw most of my inspiration. Yeah, it's always a past. Yeah. hmm
really.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I never met you.
Oh. Okay. All right. Next life we will never meet. Next life. Yeah. Next life. Yeah. So,
The
yeah, do you talk about things like that with Sally at all? Like, oh, that's a year that you want to go back. What year would that be? Like
like
back. Mm,
we talk
okay,
about a lot
all
of
right,
things. Like just
all right.
this morning, we spoke about um. It's quite interesting that we always talk about this, like how we started as best friends, as friends that we can trust.
All
Then
right.
later we got into relationship because of something happened, and after that everything just evolved in a very beautiful manner just for both of us. It's like
Mm,
we got our flat, we got our car,
right,
we
right.
got
Yeah,
our
yeah, 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 yeah,
family.
yeah.
It's
Correct.
like we didn't ask for this, we didn't plan for all this stability. We don't.
Right, right,
We
right.
just
Okay,
naturally got together and worked together and
right.
have our aspiration and goals and so called, right? And
Okay, all right.
we work
Interesting.
towards
Okay,
it. and,
right.
and without demanding uh, uh, extensive lifestyle. We just
Right.
demand
Yeah.
for a stability
Okay. Okay. Uh-huh.
and
Okay. All right.
environment that we can trust.
Okay.
We can go
Uh,
back to.
that is before you have olive, lah, I suppose,
Yeah.
right? The early stage, right?
The
Okay.
early stage, no, that is when we start to have a family. Yes, that's
Okay.
before
All
all.
right.
When
Okay. All right.
our aim is to just to give Evander a proper home.
Okay. Understand.
It's not
Understand.
a
I
place
understand.
that she
Uh-huh.
come in for weekends, and we spoke about all this, but we didn't plan for what it is today. We didn't plan for what it is like. Oh wow, we planned for the next 10 days, 10 years, and things like that. No,
Right. Right.
we
Okay.
just
All
want
right.
to do well today.
Right.
That kind
Okay.
of attitude, and
Right.
it brought us very far. We
Right.
were, we never thought about where. Sally is a traveler. She likes to travel. She likes to go.
Okay.
One of the reason why I travel a lot with her because she likes to travel,
I see. Okay.
and
All
and
right.
and traveler will never look at the past
Right, right.
or where she have not been.
Right.
I will talk about the future where I have not been, not
Right.
where she has not.
Okay. It's more like a bucket list, lah, maybe, huh? Right.
I think it's more
Right. Okay.
lifestyle. And
Okay. Where do you think she would want to go next that she have not been?
you know, we spoke about it. We want to go to the Europe because we haven't been to the Europe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've
Okay.
been to the States, but we have not been to the
The European side. Yeah.
the
Okay.
European cities and countries and things like that. Interestingly, it was just yesterday she talked about, we we have emotional baggage now.
Why do you say that? Yeah.
Our luggage is basically very emotional. Cannot travel for a few years. But
Oh,
basically,
okay.
our luggage is feeling very emotional. So it's called emotional baggage.
Oh,
Our
okay.
luggage will not be able to travel for the next few years.
Okay. So emotional luggage, basically.
Yeah, just something like that.
Okay. Is it because of the COVID-19 or?
COVID-19 is
Mm,
going to stop us from traveling for a few years.
okay.
One reason because of the Singapore numbers are high. Wherever we go, we need to have 2 weeks of
Quarantine.
quarantine.
Right. Okay.
That's one reason from stopping us
Very
from going
true. Very
anywhere.
true. Very true.
Second
Yeah.
reason, the airfare is going to be very high when it's open.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Mhm.
Because the seats, we have to buy 2 seats now because it's going to be what call that, 1 meter apart.
But even though if
Social.
people are not comfortable to travel, whether it's two price or half price, people are still reluctant to travel. I'll be afraid to travel.
I agree with you.
Understand.
Yeah, but these are the factors that factor in
Of
that
course,
we
of
won't
course.
be.
Yeah, it is a quarantine that kills, right? 14 days you do nothing when you end up in that destination, right? So what's the point, right? Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Right.
Okay lah. I mean, we will get used to this lifestyle eventually, and it's like 3 months ago we are not even doing this. Now we are expert in.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Mm.
And this is ridiculous. After 2 months, now we have so many videos that people can share and people get inspired or people just hate it. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm ashamed to put it out in the public. That's the best part of it.
No, it is in the public. I have disabled comments. All right, I have disabled comments. And that's it. I mean, am I advertising it? No, I have not sent those links to friends and say, hey, check this out. It's just a documentation of two-person having conversations during the COVID-19. That's all, right? Yeah. And what comes out of it, we do not know. That was the objective, right? Keep bouncing, and then somehow idea comes. Just like you talk about your experience on your old office, and you're comparing pictures, and the trees are still there. Only if the tree can speak to me, what is it like 50 years ago, and the tree can carve out. Yeah. So that is a beautiful, whimsical, short story. Don't have to be long. You can start penning it down in words, right? And then that becomes a piece of very valuable content. Imagine when Olive has to, uh, when she's ready to write her composition. Man, that kind of story is so interesting. I tell you, the teacher who reads it, wow, my gosh, it's so fantasy like, right? Yeah, yeah. So those are real content. She can leverage on what content you have. A lot of who we are, what we, how we answer, the quality, the content that we delivers, right? Um, in life is pretty much drawn by our experience, right? We can only speak of what we know. We can only speak of what somebody told us we heard. We can only speak of what we feel. So it's very individual. The more content we have, all right, the richer in knowledge that we have, right? My graphic design, the inspiration moment for graphic design, why I chose graphic design, or become an artist in a more arcade way of definition. I was like 6 years old, Casey. And then my grandma, my mom's mom, uh, visited us at our old neighborhood, and she always came with the brown paper bag with the red and white strings, thin strings, just like the mooncake bag.
Yeah.
One side is dragon, the other side is phoenix. Of course, I can't read Chinese words. It is like cookies from a cookie shop. She stays near the Bugis village. The building is still there. And when I saw that bag, I saw that dragon, I saw that phoenix, kind of woodcut illustrations. Wow, I was so fascinated. That spurs out a lot of imagination. So my early drawings on walls, I used to pick up those short chalks. The teacher will finish writing and then he can't hold anymore. He throw it into the bin. So when all the students left, I would go to the bin and pick up all these small little pieces of chalk. It fit my hand. And I start drawing all these dragons and phoenix. And then sometimes the paper bag would have the god of longevity, the bald head guy with the wooden staff.
Yeah.
Wow, I was so fascinated. I start drawing. Then I draw the Monkey King as lifelike as possible. Now, this is not because I took a paper bag and start tracing. It was all based on memory. I trained my mind. I look at it and look at it and look at it. It just goes in there and it make a photocopy in my head. So as I draw, somehow the mind and the hand is connected. The proportion is about right. The details are about there. Right. Then the rain will come and then it wash it away. So I got a clean board the next day. So that is the inspiration moment of, wow, this is quite interesting. And I have no idea what is those gods. I mean, now I know it's a whimsical, a mythical god. But those days, like, gee, a human doesn't look like that with a big head carrying a wood staff. And what is this dragon? Doesn't look like a dog, a cat. What is that? Right. So I was carried away by a lot of mythical figures. Right. Yeah. So that is where the love of art sparks in me. Right. Yeah. And I have no clue that it has somehow opened the road for me. Right. Right.
Interesting, right? All
Yeah,
these
it
are
is. It is. Yeah. You never know. Yeah. So how much I know about drawings is my experience, not so much of something that I've learned from my art college. Really, a lot of stronger inspiration come from my first experience rather than what you have learned later. What you have learned later is more the refinement. Doesn't mean a lot. It's important, but doesn't mean a lot. But is that I think earlier on we talked about the awakening, right? You look at it, it's like, wow, grandma has been carrying this bag, but it doesn't have to be that day my eyes open, the awakening, you see, right? Yeah. So that changes the course of my life, lah. I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, but yeah, I know I have the quality. Yeah, just I didn't pursue the direction. That's all.
I'm glad you're not a doctor.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people are dying.
Yeah, because the patients that come to me, they are all dead. I'm a pathologist. I would do forensic, right? It's that kind of doctor, right? Yeah. My patients are all dead. Hey, imagine it must be a very sad kind of doctor, right? You know?
You are wrong. You're wrong. They will look at you and say your job is sad. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like
Of course, of course.
you have people who have joy looking at such things, and
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah
Absolutely, yeah. Just like Undertaker, right?
yeah. It's
I do not.
I have friends who want to be an undertaker, and then
I know.
I was like asking them why. I look at my dead father, one body, I just shivered for months.
Uh,
I and you don't see dead bodies every day, but for them it's an everyday thing. And he
oh,
say
okay.
it's a lady. Is that she will just tell me that if it's not if it's not her, then who? That kind of, it's a calling, or I think it's fine. I think
Is
he
that a
said
calling? Is that a calling? It's interesting to invite her into our Skype cast and talk about her profession. No, it's true. Is that a calling? Did you ask her? Or it's
it,
the money that she wants? I don't know.
no, it's to me. I didn't really go into that
Okay,
topic.
all right,
It's not
okay, all right.
really a
Okay,
nice, comfortable
okay.
topic to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, quite true. Taboo, lah, right? Yeah.
But to me, is quite interesting in the way that the way she look at it, right?
Right.
Is not it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's a job, and
Right, right, right,
it
right.
is not it's like when we look at hawker, okay, it's not my thing, oily and dirty and hot.
Right, 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 right. Correct, 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 correct,
The
correct.
same thing, to her.
Right,
I,
correct.
I'm not a hawker.
Right,
I'm not
correct.
someone that sit in the office that, oh, Casey, you have to go and look at all your sickening clients and convince them and to pay you. And
Oh my
after that,
gosh, yeah.
you know,
It is a tough job. Yeah.
yeah.
Graphic
So
design is a
so
tough job.
they will look into that kind of thing like the way we look at their job.
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. The ins and outs which you do not know, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And how do you know? It's like it's easier to deal with dead people, and the fact is people will pay you cash.
Right, 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 right,
I
right.
I'm just saying out of what I think and things like that. I have full respect to all these people. It's like, my children grow up, right?
Mm,
My children grow up looking at me,
right,
talking, smiling, respecting everybody around me. The
right.
cleaners,
Uh-huh. Right.
it's cleaners, the
Mm-hmm,
people. And this is how we grow up. Everybody are equal.
mm-hmm,
We say
mm-hmm,
good morning to the people. When I walk downstairs, those cleaners are clearing rubbish
mm-hmm,
down. They will look
mm-hmm.
at me and look at me and, hello, sir, good morning. And I'll wave at them. And,
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of, so
Uh-huh.
so we grew up to respect all
Mm-hmm.
this.
Uh-huh.
And I got this thing from my dad. My dad say hi to everybody on the street. That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. I understand.
Children say hi
Yeah,
to.
I have the similar. I think a while ago you brought it up, and I was thinking of it. What you said is like, it makes sense. About you and I has a lot of similarities. You talk about, the things I collect, I pass to you, is something that you also would want to collect. Um, Coming back to the Undertaker, I have always been afraid of attending wake, uh, going around the cascade to pay respect. Uh, and when it came the time my dad's passing, I was an afternoon. Hold on, the doorbell
Go
ringing.
ahead.
One moment, the
Go
doorbell
ahead.
ringing. Okay, so that afternoon, the undertaker or the funeral director sent the body to the void deck, as usual, right? And then the tent was already up, of course, and they were placing my dad on a wooden plank with those horse stand. All right. The casket was open, about ready to uh, transfer him into the casket, and then my dad's shoe fell off, you know, on the wooden plank. I was with him. The two guy who delivers my dad was they have gone back to the truck to take something. I don't know, whatever the equipments they need. So it's just my dad and I had no feeling of frighten and fear. And because my dad was wearing the socks, and then the shoe was just a cheap canvas, $5-6 kung fu shoe. And that guy may have bought the shoe too small, so they slid off the heel, so it will fit. But of course, my dad's heel just out a bit lah, so it fell off, and then I was wearing my shoe. Wow, that was the moment I cried, boy, Casey. That was the moment I cried. So there's no fear of, oh my, that is gone. His spirit could be haunting me. But since then I kind of maybe it's because of my dad lah. If it's somebody else, I won't want to touch. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So somehow, if you love the person, no matter how the persons were transformed, I would imagine it's not that the bell rings again. One moment.
No worries.
Sorry, busy day. Everybody's ordering food in. Yeah, this time around is my daughter. So anyway, yeah. So somehow, if I love someone, and no matter how the person transform, I think the love is still there. It's stronger than fear, lah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, correct. All right.
That's,
So right.
thanks for sharing. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, that is the the fact. I'm like you. I never like to visit wake, and a lot of people was wondering why, and they think that I'm just snobbish, But
Okay.
I I shared with them.
Right.
I I don't like the feeling of the sadness,
Right. Right. Right.
that
Uh-huh.
that
Uh,
that,
right.
that sad thing, and I wouldn't understand it, and I don't want to know it, that kind of thing.
Okay. See.
So I
Yeah. Just ideas. Ideas just come. Now you say you might be interested in going into the funeral business. What if? What if? What if the way you position your business is like you just mentioned a few seconds ago, the reason you don't want to attend wake, just like me, I'm quite similar as you, is because of the sadness. What if we position, let's say you and I go into this business, we position ourselves as death, we embrace death as a time to celebrate for a new journey. Let's say, we have professional bands playing, people dancing and drinking. Is a happy farewell. Put it that way. It's like the
yeah,
last day. It's the last day of the new year, December 31st. We sing the song Olan San, right? It's like, yeah, we forget the past where we look forward to the future. We will start. Sadness is gone. The celebration of the week is the first day of a new journey, right?
yep,
Correct. Yeah. So I have not seen that kind in Singapore. I'm not talking about global. A happy moment. You know, there will
yeah,
be tears, there will be crying, of course, but it's a cry of joy rather than a cry of death.
yeah.
So
I
yeah, I can play the
I
guitar. I can play the guitar. $50 an hour is real dirt cheap, all right? Yeah. You want my composition? $100. Original composition. And in the program, all right, because relatives will be friends will be attending. It can be a half an hour of stand-up comedy by someone. I don't know, right? It can be one or two raps of music. Then can be watch a movie or what. It don't have to be the whole, or I don't know, whole day or what. I mean, we sort out those details. Those kind of entertainment and enjoyment. Right? That kind of thing. Yeah. Correct, correct, correct. And then we don't invite people into the wake. We ask them whether they want to buy tickets and how many tickets do they want. No, isn't it crazy? You know, right? If we want to push a human race forward, right? Let's push it.
damn it. I thought I can use this video as a getting investors. Now forget it. Now forget it.
Oh, it's out in the public already. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's live streaming, by the way. Okay. Yeah.
I think the main purpose of like why I'm interested is seriously getting into this, right? Is I find that uh dying is a very expensive business.
It is. Yes. Yeah.
So so after my dad, which I'm in charge of everything, and I realized that some people cannot afford to die.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they
Right.
don't have $500 in the bank, and the coffin cost them $4,000.
Mm,
That is stupid. That is
right.
stupid. So that's the reason why I want to do this business in the way that I want to bring the cost down. And
So affordable. So affordable is your selling point. All
uh,
right.
no, now I can tell those people that I don't like. Now you can die.
Yeah, yeah, you can afford to die. It's cheap to die. So
Uh,
so your business model is affordable and Enjoy, Joy. Huh?
I got the tagline. You can afford to die.
No, that's a good one. Yeah.
You can afford to die. I love that, man. Shit.
No, okay, write this down. You can afford to die. No, something just came and it went. Yeah, around. Okay, anyway, yeah. Okay, write it down. I'm not gonna write it down. Afford it. Yeah, okay, all right. Because we have this dialogue, it's recorded. Yeah, yeah. Or is it no reason to die? Or death? Death is cheap. No, it's interesting. Yeah. Hey, why not? You know what, Casey? We don't really have to iron out all the details. We just do few marketing tests. We place this ad in Facebook, let's say.
Now do it.
No, see who make enquiries. That's all. We don't have to fulfill the enquiries. People will say, "Oh, how much would it cost?" Then we will say it's $500 a pop. What do you get? Michael plays a guitar and Casey telling jokes.
I will do it.
Oh, you won't do it, man. I thought you one moment you say you are going into it, the next moment you're pulling it out. Yeah.
I won't do your shit.
No, it's a. I mean, it is a interesting proposal, huh?
Oh my God.
Right.
I can't
Yeah.
afford to die that way.
Correct. And then who should we hire as a funeral director to run
Kuma.
the, huh?
The Kuma that
Oh
joke.
yeah. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that is yeah. So imagine Kumar is a funeral director.
Whoa.
Wah Kang, Gurmit Singh is a stand-up comedian. Then Dick Lee will come in with his piano to sing.
That's an
Hey.
expensive date.
That is expensive, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Hey, who knows? They are rich one in Singapore, right? I don't want Michael to play the guitar. He knows shit. Right? I want Dick Lee. So we offer them two menu, the cheap version, still find joy in death, or the expensive, also still find joy in death. It's a celebration of the next life. Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Which menu you want? You want afford to die? Or
Casey,
cannot afford to die?
the rich one, in their casket, right? Correct? We have a Mercedes logo on it. No, that is, people one face, a rich man one face. Correct? Correct or not?
Yeah. I know.
Right, yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you never know. There is a market for that, Casey. Don't laugh. And that's where the big money is, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we are in the fun business. We are not in the death business.
So
We
today,
are in fun and joyful business.
today title right will be what? You can afford to die.
Yeah.
People will definitely look at this title and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's 40 minutes. Okay, you have a good day.
Right. Okay. Hey, great idea. Think about it.
Have a good day.